Welcome to Forbidden Diet. This cooperative game leads you around the human body as you travel through the circulatory system as a red blood cell. To set up the game, randomly place the 24 tiles in a 5x5 grid, leaving the middle empty. Next, add one of the large plaque pieces to each tile in the diamond pattern you see here, unless that tile is labeled a bypass, in which case you do not put any plaque on it. Then, flip over the tiles that say bypass on them. Place the cholesterol track with the indicator set to the desired starting level, easy, normal, hard, or expert. Shuffle and place the heart disease cards on the draw pile spot on the card mat, and do the same with the quiz cards. Also, shuffle the medical equipment deck and place it in its designated spot on the circulation map board. Also on this board, place the corresponding location markers in their appropriate spots, with the word side facing up. Next, deal a random character card to each player. Please note, if you are playing with 3 players instead of 4, remove the sidestepper from play before dealing. Each character has a special ability, which we will explain later in the video. Look at the color of the pawn on your character card and take the pawn, clip, and 5 plaque circles that match that color. Place everyone's pawn on the starting tile. You are now ready to begin Forbidden Diet. As you explore, you'll move around the board, flip over tiles, gain medical equipment, and uncover parts of the circulatory system. You'll place matching location markers on the tiles as you flip them. And you can pick up the location markers if and only if they are the very next location on the circulation map. If they aren't, they stay on the tile until the right time when someone can pick them up. Collect them all in order before anyone dies or a complete plaque blockage is ignored for too long. If you can do this, you win the game. When it's your turn, you get up to 5 actions. You can do a variety of different actions. One action you can do is move to an adjacent tile, only if there is no plaque on it. You spend 1 action for each space you move. If you are the sidestepper, you can move diagonally in addition to up and down, left or right. You could even use all 5 of your actions to move 5 times. On the game board, there are 3 bypass tiles. For 1 action, you can move between any 2 of them, which can get you to other areas of the board faster. As the game goes on, plaque will be building up. When plaque accumulates on a tile, you won't be able to move. If there is even 1 piece, you will be unable to move on or through that tile. Even if plaque prevents your movement, another action you can do is to remove plaque. For 1 action, you can remove 1 plaque piece from the tile you are on or from an adjacent tile. You must remove plaque pieces from the inside out, smallest piece to the largest piece. Keep in mind, if plaque pieces are added to the tile you are on, you have to remove all of these pieces before you will be able to move again. 2 characters have a modification of the remove plaque action. The sidestepper can not only move diagonally, they can also remove plaque from diagonal tiles. The cleaner can spend a single action to remove 2 plaque pieces on the same tile. The last action you can choose to do is flip a tile. This is very important because this is the only way you can get the location markers to complete the circulation map in order to win the game. You can only flip a tile if it's 100% clear of plaque. There are 3 types of tiles. The first are locations in the circulatory system pathway. As soon as you uncover one of these locations, place the corresponding location marker on top of it. The second tile is an exercise bonus tile. When you flip an exercise bonus tile, you will be instructed to draw a quiz card. Follow the exercise bonus instructions on the quiz card mat to resolve the card effect. Depending on how many attempts it takes to correctly answer the quiz card question, there are different reward levels. The best reward is to draw a random medical equipment card that can be used during the game. There are several different medical equipment cards that are pretty self-explanatory, such as gaining 2 extra actions, or moving anywhere on the board. However, these cards can only be used once, so use them wisely. The third tile is a pulmonary capillary tile, which can be used to replenish the oxygen of the players on this tile. Later in the video, we'll talk about how your oxygen levels get depleted. But if they start getting low, it's essential you replenish them so you don't die. When you flip this tile, all characters on this tile get +2 oxygen. You can only get this oxygen once, and that's it, unless you're the O2 grabber, which we will discuss momentarily. So plan accordingly and work together to get as many people as possible on this tile before you flip it. So far, we have talked about 3 different types of actions: moving, removing plaque, and flipping a tile. The transporter and the O2 grabber have special actions they can do in addition to the regular actions. The transporter can use one action in order to move another player up to 3 spaces, following normal movement rules, including moving the sidestepper diagonally, or moving any character through bypasses. Hypothetically, the transporter could use all their actions just moving other players. The O2 grabber has the highest oxygen storage capacity and can use one action to gain 2 more oxygen from already flipped pulmonary capillary tiles. Remember, this is the only character that can obtain oxygen from an already flipped pulmonary capillary tile. There are also 2 activities everyone can do for free at any point in the game, even if it's not their turn. The first free activity is sharing things. If you are on the same tile as another player, you can exchange equipment cards. Also, if you are on the same tile, you can share oxygen. Please note that when you share oxygen with another player, your character's oxygen level must be decreased by the amount that you are donating. The O2 grabber character can also share oxygen with players on adjacent tiles, in addition to players that are on the same tile. The second free activity is picking up the location marker of the circulatory system if it comes next in the pathway. Not only is this a free activity, but it can be done automatically during anyone's turn. For example, let's say that the O2 grabber picked up the right atrium location marker on their turn. And the transporter just happened to be standing on the right ventricle tile. Even though it's not the transporter's turn, since a player is on the tile with the next location marker, you can immediately pick it up and place it on the circulation map. Try to plan ahead and use this to your advantage. Once you have completed your 5 actions, or less should you choose not to use them all, then you must draw heart disease cards. This step is done after each and every player's turn ends. The number of cards you draw is dependent on the level of the cholesterol track. This deck has 34 cards. There are 4 different kinds of cards. The first one is saturated fat intake increases. If you draw this card, raise the marker on the cholesterol level track by 1 tick mark. If this enters you into a new number, that won't take effect until next turn. There are 3 of these cards in the deck. The second card you might draw is oxygen levels decrease. If anyone on the board is on a bypass tile, they are protected and can ignore the effects of this card. Everyone else, though, loses 1 oxygen. Each player moves their clip down 1 notch, as shown on the character card. There are 3 of these cards in the deck. The third card you might draw is Cardiac Arrest. When you draw a Cardiac Arrest card, you will be instructed to draw a quiz card. Follow the Cardiac Arrest penalty instructions on the quiz mat to resolve the card effect. There are 4 of these cards in the deck. The remaining 24 cards in the deck are the Plaque Builds Up movement cards. These cards will move 1, 2, or 3 tiles around on the board. If it shows to move 1 tile to the right, then move it to the right into the open space on the 5x5 grid. Add 1 plaque piece to each tile that was moved, starting with the outermost piece and working inward from there. In some cases, you will not be able to move all of the tiles in the direction indicated because there will not be enough tiles to move. If this is the case, move as many as possible. Bypass tiles don't get any plaque pieces added to them. If you need to add the last center plaque piece, add the piece that matches the color of the player whose turn it is. This blockage needs to be opened before the end of the next player's turn, or you lose the game. If a tile that is full of plaque gets moved again, it does not get more plaque added to it. When you've finished flipping cards for this turn, move them to the discard pile. When the draw pile runs out, complete the recitation challenge. Instructions for this are on the mat underneath the draw pile. Once you've completed the recitation challenge, shuffle only the cards in the discard pile and move it back to the draw pile. And that's the game. So, as a recap, you get 5 actions. Remove plaque, move to an adjacent cleared tile, and flip a tile. Keep in mind, there are free activities, and each character has a special ability they can use during their turn. At the end of each player's turn, draw the appropriate number of heart disease cards and resolve them one at a time. Once a heart disease card has been drawn, its effect cannot be stopped. Everyone loses if any player's oxygen level reaches the skull and crossbones, or if a complete plaque blockage is not opened before the end of that player's next turn. Everyone wins once you have completed the circulation map. Good luck!